So what happens is a lot of guys get that pic and they're like, all right, we're fucking in it. It's all good. No. She is using it as a test. But until the dick is in the pussy, that should be your metric. Everything is out the window. I'm not saying this individual girl is not special, but you need to think of her in the larger macro context because that's exactly how she thinks about you, whether you like it or not. Hey guys, Hector Castillo, Poppy from girlshaves.com. Today I want to talk about what to do if a girl sends you a nude. I actually had a personal example with a friend that won't be mentioned, even though I say that very often. You know exactly what I'm talking about. So he was sent, not a nude exactly, so I want to just define it like anything kind of risky, like she's in her lingerie and she's in bed, something like that, or an actual nude. He was sent this and he kind of responded a little bit too enthusiastically. And I thought about like, okay, what makes you should like respond like very enthusiastically and when should you kind of play it cool? And I thought about it and it was very simple. If you fucked her before or if you haven't fucked her. So let's put it into those two categories because of course, if you have a girl who you fucked, then you guys can send, she sends you nudes, you send her a dick pic back, you tell her how much you miss that pussy. Don't go overboard, obviously. If you fucked her one time and she sends you a nude and you send her like a page about how sexy. I remember when we've done a video where on the embarrassed video, check the description below. It's where I talked about how to be embarrassed and I told an embarrassing story to go through it. And it was my first time having phone sex. It was on Xbox Live. I met this girl who actually ended up being quite pretty, surprisingly. And we kept in contact and we had a chat one time and it was very sexual. And I literally had never had something like that where a girl is like telling me she wants to fuck me. And I was so excited. I ended up sending her like 10, 15 voice messages over Xbox Live. Like I'm sitting there with my little headset. You remember those old Xbox headsets? Like sitting there like this, and I'm like, oh yeah, baby, I wanna fucking fuck the shit out of you and you can suck my dick. Like, yeah, that was too much, okay? So don't go that far. But if you've slept with her and she sends you a nude or like a risky pic, then you can be enthusiastic, be like, oh baby, you look so sexy, I can't wait to hit that again. Whatever, you can be enthusiastic. Now, if you haven't slept with her, that's when you need to be a little bit careful because usually if a girl's sending you nudes, it's either in the fucking bag, and you guys are talking a lot and she's so enthusiastic about you and everything's great, then you can be cool with it, but you should still play it cooler than you would if you had slept with her. So, you know, let's say you're on Instagram, she sent it. You like the picture and you go, that's pretty sexy. There, you're playing it cool, you're not being thirsty. Because once you fucked a girl, everything changes. It's almost like the game kind of reverses. Like now it's about not maintaining attraction because you kind of have a lot of that, though you still shouldn't be a bitch. It's about making her feel like the trajectory of the relationship is going in the direction she wants, whether it's serious, casual, whatever. But if you haven't slept with her, you may not think of it as a big deal, but I've talked about it before. Once you've been in a girl's vagina, the game changes because there's only so many men who've been in there. Even if she's a mega slut, even if she's fucked 30, 50 guys, that's still a small percentage of the men she's flirted with or made out with or even given head or gone on a date with. She's gone on hundreds of dates to get to that point, right? So you're still kind of special to her. So different rules apply. You've been inside once and theoretically you can always get in again. You're kind of in her, you're in her little locked box in her heart or in her vagina, you know. There's something special about you for the rest of her life. But if you haven't fucked her, no matter how charming, no matter how everything's going, you still gotta be careful. Until your dick is in her pussy, everything is off the table. Of course, if she's sending you videos of her fingering herself and all that, and she's super thirsty, texting you every day, okay, yeah. You know, it's gonna be hard to fuck that up. But you still can. I've seen it done. But in this particular instance, he had been on a date with her and they had made out and she was very into him because she was kind of a, you know, good girl. She has kind of a normal job and a normal life and he's kind of edgy. And so he was making progress and he had some strong attraction there. Obviously she wanted a bad boy in her life. And so her sending kind of a risky pic of her in her lingerie in her bed was, you know, a nice move on her part, obviously, and a very aggressive move, But the context was that even though they had made out and he is kind of a bad boy and she does want him, she was still kind of being flaky about seeing each other again. Now, this is a pattern of hers because she was flaky before, so context matters. But she's basically in that moment, by sending him a lingerie pic, she's kind of playing with him. Because she's been flaky, they had a first date, they made out. Then she sends him the pic, but around the time and schedule of her sending that lingerie pic, she's still being flaky. So what happens is a lot of guys get that pic and they're like, all right, we're fucking in it. It's all good. You know, she wants me. You know, we can just go full steam ahead and it doesn't, no. You can't lose sight of the context because she is using it as a test, whether consciously or subconsciously. I don't know, not in her head, but I would imagine she kind of knew what she was doing. And so just think of it as, all right, I'm gonna send him this. You know, obviously she likes you. She's not gonna send that to anyone she doesn't like, but she's kind of doing it as a, let's see how you react. And he was a little bit too enthusiastic about it. And then after that, her behavior didn't change and she actually got more flaky, kind of. Even though it was a great moment and you would tell your friends like, oh my God, look at me, I'm so cool. And then you don't get the action, right? So what you need to understand is nudes don't matter, lingerie pics don't matter. If you're new to this, then of course it's gonna be exciting for you and enjoy the new experience. But what you need to realize is nothing matters. Nothing but your dick and her pussy matters. Even a blowjob, even eating her out. It's good, it's great. Getting top is great. But until the dick is in the pussy, that should be your metric. Everything is out the window. Until you were inside of her, you do not know how you stand with her. So when you get a lingerie pic with from a girl you haven't slept with yet, what I want you to do, play it cool. You're obviously doing something right, okay? But the game is not won yet. So don't be hasty. Don't count your chickens before they hatch. So play it cool. Maybe just give it a like, be like, looking good, babe. Don't send a bunch of pictures of your fucking dick back like, yeah, look how hard you made me, baby, I'm gonna fucking, no. Chill. You can take that nude and then turn it into sex, but it shouldn't be something you celebrate right now. Cool? All right. Simple lesson. Hope you enjoyed this video. Now, when you are talking to a girl and texting a girl and getting nudes, it's great, like I said, but what ends up happening is you get too focused on the text conversation. And texting you shouldn't get so focused on. And we teach you that when we give you a full, complete process on how to meet a girl and take her on a date and seduce her properly. And the problem is a lot of guys get stuck with think of texting as like a potato chip and a nude as a potato chip. It's really satisfying and nice, especially if you eat the whole bag. But it's not very fulfilling, right? A steak is fulfilling, steak and rice and vegetables. That's a real meal. See, texting, no matter how many smiley faces and devil emojis and nudes you get, it's still just text. It's very safe. It's very easy to be flirty over there. So I want you to instead not focus so much on texting and all of the fun stuff that's involved with it, and don't take so much satisfaction in it. And instead, take satisfaction in the iron law of Poppy. Number one, the proof is in the pussy. If her pussy is wet and your dick is inside of it, you did something right. That should be your benchmark. It's a bit of a harsh benchmark, but it's a fucking reliable benchmark. And everything up until that is simply a process by which to end up there. Obviously, she's a human being with personality and you're interested in much more than sex. But because this is the pivotal part of the courtship dance, this much must be your benchmark. So everything up until then needs to be processed and detailed to get you here, which sometimes means not focusing on texting and not focusing on reactions and nice, shiny things she shows you, but hard action, her actually showing up on the date, her not flaking, her not being dodgy with texting, her not responding a day later, her being compliant and submissive and nice and sweet and open and wanting to hang out with you, enthusiastically being joyful to see you, right? Because a girl can be totally flirty over text, but then you can't see her, as in the case of the example I just gave. So think process, right? I'm not saying this individual girl is not special, but you need to think of her in the larger macro context, because that's exactly how she thinks about you, whether you like it or not. So, What process do you have that'll help you see the bigger picture and not get lost in the weeds? Well, we have a course for that. It's called One Date, and we teach you a very simple, streamlined, clear, easy to apply process from start to finish, meeting her to putting it in her pussy. So check that out in the description below. Get that course. It's me and my mentor Chase. I interview him on all of his knowledge of women distilled from over a decade of experience of not only being with women, but teaching men about women and putting it into a very simple, easy to execute process that any guy can do. And if you follow this and you put in the work, you will get results. That I can guarantee. So check it out in the description below. One Date. All right, so again, hope you enjoyed the video. Please like, subscribe, ring the bell, follow me on Instagram. Again, check out One Date in the description. Fuck me. The description below. I always start at the last second, and go fuck yourself. And I'm gonna go fuck myself too, because I'm retarded. Okay, bye.